empty.
What a well of knowledge this tome is. Dallas is such a dear lending it to me. There you are. Not too tight, I hope. The collar, I mean. Oh, not to worry. Every dog has to get used to its leash. In the meantime, your next stop will be Magister William. All passengers have to be registered in the ship's manifest. You'll find him on the other side of this deck, in the officers' quarters. Is he? Oh well. Some problems simply sort themselves, don't they? Why, for my peace of mind, of course. Why don't you try casting one of those source spells of yours? See what happens. Oh, do go on. I won't hold it against you. Promise.
Currents of magic surge inside you, boiling, bursting, then breaking, only to fade back into your soul.
My, look at the concentration on your face. All will. There you have it. See? The collar's function. It neuters you of sorts. For your own peace of mind, of course. Yours and the whole world's. Are you seriously? This is...
Index fingers pressed to her lips, she pauses a moment to give you a scrutinizing gander.
My word, you do seem a bit befuddled, don't you? Perhaps I was a bit too generous with that sedative. Oh, well, I'm sure you'll soon gather your wits. Most likely. Eventually. In the meantime, all you need to know is that we're en route to Fort George. A new life awaits, and if you're a particularly good boy...
Good gods. There's been a murder here.
Ugly sight, isn't it? Burns me up this happened under our protection. We're extremely lucky no Voidwalker followed the source that did this. Finn didn't see it like that. We'll find out who did this. Speaking of...
She looks up at you with a mirthless smile.
I was on duty in your room when the murder happened. You were asleep the whole time. You're one of the only indisputably innocent people on the ship. Unless you can commit murder in your sleep, of course. Finn was killed by Source. It looks more like a passenger managed to slip their collar. And the rest... Listen, I could use someone to keep their ears open among the passengers. Sometimes they clam up in front of a uniform. Bring me a good lead, and I'll throw in a shiny gold coin for you. How about that? Think about it. It's one of you who got killed, not what... Who's your real enemy here? You let me know if you hear anything. Whoever did this is dangerous. Yes, this is a rare kind of magic. I'll need to write to headquarters right away.
knuckle in it. I'm trying to concentrate.
An elf sits tucked away in a dark...
Snake eyes.
She chuckles.
I bet that's just what they'll look like.
They're picking us off one by one. Can we just skip to the part where I reassure you and you shut up? You think me mad?
She shakes her head.
Game for one, I'm afraid. Rolling dice. Deciding fates.
She eyes you quite seriously.
Not the future, no. But I can read the past. I could lick your arm and tell you how you spent the night before last.
She gives your arm a vigorous stroke of the tongue. Efficient.
You were... You were... reminiscing. About the things you used to do together. Of course it is. The truth's right there. But don't you worry, darling. Your secrets I don't lick and tell. Don't worry, honey. It isn't.
She looks you up and down with the merest hint of a coy smile on her lip.
Never say never, though.
Coming out of plague-stricken pigs.
There's nothing else I can make, Your Majesty. Turnips and water are all I was given.
Unacceptable.
A broad dwarf sits totally upright on the bench, eyes closed, palms. He raises an eyebrow as you approach, but doesn't open his eyes.
Listen up, boy. You hear that?
Your Majesty. Maybe that has the Magister's more concern than your...
The ship, of course. Don't you get saucy with me when you clearly don't know the first thing.
His eyes snap open. He looks at you and frowns.
Murder? Ah, that's what they were going on and on about. I wouldn't know anything about it. I kill a man. He knows who done it. His dad...
His eyes flutter shut, and he assumes his position of repose once more.
Whether they catch me is another matter, but I ain't one to hide.
A wave of sound washes over you. The unintelligible chatter of your ship.
And...
The fellow cocks his ear, listening.
that isn't anger, it's...
He cocks his ear to the other side, then...
anticipation. She senses something. That's all you hear, though. Listen close. There now, just like that.
Squeeze!
Aha!
His eyes snap open.
There. You heard it, didn't you? I knew it. Yes.
The dwarf leans back from the table and strokes his beard, gold medallions jingling merrily. His eyes roll.
That'll be all. Thank you, kind...
Your Majesty. Maybe that has the Magister's more concern than your appetite.
You one of them? A divine order lord?
with me when you clearly don't know the first thing about sauce.
It was one of them. I know it.
Well, well. What have we here?
The lizard looks you up and down, like a farmer would a fetching horse. All of a sudden, he grips you firmly by the chin, with the intent of inspecting.
There's some discoloration, but I've seen worse. After all, one can't expect of... Now then, to business. You will answer me 3 questions. The first one is this. Can you cook? Ah, music to my beleaguered stomach. On to the second question. Can you knit, weave? In short, tailor? Oh, but to feel the caress of satin on my scarlet skin once more. A most satisfactory answer indeed. On then to my final query. Have you the ability to administer the upkeep of one's personal appearance? The delicate art of the very basics, then. I suppose that's a start. So, 3 questions asked, 3 questions answered. Let's evaluate, shall we? As per your own testimony, you can cook, tailor, and groom. Well, I offer you my sincerest congratulations. As of now, you are my slave. You should probably come to terms with the fact that you've half a mind, full stop. Rein in your impertinence, will you? I'm a fair man, but I won't spare the rod. Anyway, you may leave me for a moment.
I'll give you that knuckle if you keep carrying on.
One of us wouldn't kill our own. They're picking us off one by one.
Can we just skip to the part where I reassure you and you shut up?
You think me mad?
Mad? No. Insufferable? Surely.
What are you trying to hear anyway?
I'll tell you if you can keep it quiet long enough for me to listen.
How dare you classify this slop as food? I've seen more appetizing things coming out of plague-stricken pigs.
There's nothing else I can make, Your Majesty. Turnips and water are all I was given.
Unacceptable. I've never dined on anything less than a dozen-course dinner, and I don't intend to do away with the custom.
Well, there has been a murder, Your Majesty. Maybe that has the Magisters more concerned than your appetite.
Don't you get saucy with me when you clearly don't know the first thing about...
A scruffy man lounges against the wall with scarred arms folded.
Watch your back, new fish. There's a murderer on board, and I'd bet 3 months' pay it's this trap.
Rolling his eyes at the Magister's warning, the man named Ifan beckons again. He leans in and adjusts your collar with a sharp tug, balancing its weight so it no longer
pinches less that way, right?
Hocking a phlegmy gobbet in your general direction, the sullen Magister settles.
We used to know each other, more's the pity. I was his commander many, many, many moons ago.
Standing far back from Ifan, the tight-faced Magister draws one finger. Ifan grins, flashing pointed white teeth.
Same as he was at 14 years old. Only difference is somebody gave him a bigger sword and now he's Johnny Big Pants. Long story. Maybe I'll tell you about it in the joy. Away from...
Ifan performs an elaborate...
Shoot to kill.
Here to register, sir. Good, good. Magister Williams is just about done with the last passenger. You faring okay so far? Trust me, with Bishop Alexander in charge, things will get a lot better from here on out. You head on in now. Williams will get you sorted fast.
Well, keep it up this triangulation, and if she tries to run...
Standing at the center of the room, you spot a sorcerer haughtily eyeing a pair of nervous-looking Magisters. They keep their crossbow trained upon her as she's being interrogated by an officer.
So you admit it then? You murdered that poor fella?
Yes, I did. But of course, that was only the beginning.
She turns her head and looks you straight in the eye.
There are others whose lives must end.
Good God, the woman's mad. You there, sorcerer, go and fetch Magister Siwan. We need to do more than collar this maniac. We need to shackle her, hands and feet.
By all means, do as the officer says. But you had better hurry, because...
She reaches for her collar and simply removes it.
I'm just about to create a scene.
Subdue her, men, quickly! If she casts Source, the Voidwoken will come. They'll end us all.
She smiles with wicked satisfaction.
Precisely.
What's happened?
Damn, that doesn't bode well. Onwards and upwards. God damn it! Need to get off this wreck, and quick! Long before this thing snaps into splinters. Great gods! Something's pounding on the hull!
Pass through the door. The skeleton is quickly leafing through a volume of Cranley Hubert's famous encyclopedia, muttering,
No! What damn fools record knowledge on... It catches fire, it turns into must when wet, it cannot even resist acid.
The skeleton looks up and notices you for the first time.
Oh. Yes? Shouldn't you be running or screaming or some such?
The skeleton groans and looks back to his book, frantically flipping from...
I know your god did not gift you with much. Unkindly, do you look at me and think, why, yes, there is someone with organs enough to drown? No, damp robes are the most I have to fear. Once this... Whereas you, I believe, have lifeboats to pointlessly squabble. I believe you did. Although I was wearing the face of an elf at the time. I had a mask, rather ingeniously designed, which allowed me to take that primitive form. A mask that was stolen by that damned witch after her little... Still, she'll drown with the rest of these fools, and I will simply pluck my mask from her cold, dead...
The skeleton holds up his book in one quick, frustrating...
I am trying to discover if there is anyone worth saving, and I will be damned if I let the lives of some mayflies get in... Go on, go.
Was painted recently. Judging from it, you press your palm against the door to open it. The wood, it doesn't budge. The door groans open, but an ashen shadow clouds your mind.
Long before this thing snaps into splinters. Damn, that doesn't bode well. Onwards and upwards. lifeboat! I'll strike it down or die trying!
Wolf yanks at one of the nearby ropes to no avail.
You said there were other people down there. We need to...
You see those tentacles, kid? It's time for getting the hell out of here.
But wait! There's still people down there! Thank you, thank you, thank you! There's a ladder right over there. You can go straight down.
You're gonna be the death of us, you hear?
The Magister lies on the floor, unconscious and bleeding from a dire-looking wound. Empty. The Magister lies on the floor, unconscious and bleeding from a dire-looking wound.
You can walk. Get yourself up the ladder. There's a... Wait! Find Woken!
we're supposed to be scary. Let the games begin.
They who are about to triumph. Hurts, doesn't it?
I've faced worse.
Prepare yourself.
Let's not tarry. This old tub.
I hear something. It's Magister Siwan.
She tries to speak, but can only gape as she clutches her neck. With jagged movements, she raises her clenched fist and holds out a length of cloth. Blood quickly soaks through the cloth. Magister, it's working. The pressure is stemming the flow of blood. Siwan clutches your arm, her eyes lock. Something within the ship snaps. The floorboards shudder. Siwan struggles to her feet, clinging to you tightly. The ship lets out a deep groan, then cracks.
It's ripping the ship apart!
I have plans for you, child. Rise.
Honorable Dallas, we lost a ship sailing sorcerer prisoners to Fort Joy. We assume some escaped and broke their collars. Their vile magic lured the Voidwoken. All who were aboard are presumed dead. Yours faithfully into eternity, High Judge Oriven. Can make short bloody work of the ship. Am I the lone survivor? It seems something wanted me alive.